Welcome to another video, A Walk with Phil, and I'm in West Bromwich, where I did visit before actually, All Saints Way, a few months back. All Saints Way has got a lot of history, right from the top, right down to the bottom. The top end, we've got where we start is the fire station, and you go right along to the church, All Saints Church, down the bottom end of All Saints Way. But such a long road, I wanted to make it a bit more comprehensive this time around. So I'm going to do it in two parts. The first part is going to be from the top end by the fire station. I'll take you as far as Parsonage Street, and in the second video I'll take you from Parsonage Street to the end of All Saints Way, where we find All Saints Church. So let's start our journey along All Saints Way at the fire station. It's Wednesday morning in deepest January. And it's bitterly cold. You can see on the grass in front of me, see all the ice on the top, all the frost on the grass. It's a very cold day today. I don't think we're going to get much above freezing today. But here I am at the top of All Saints Way, and I have visited All Saints Way before, but I thought it's time for a revisit. I want to do a bit more of a comprehensive overview of this particular area. So what I thought I'd do is to split it into two parts. I'm going to do the top end of All Saint Way, and then the second video I'll do at the bottom end of All Saints Way, just past Parsonage Street. So yeah, we're at the top end here. Look, you can see the view ahead of the West Brom Building Society headquarters and the Shireland Academy Premier Inn just ahead. And we've got the fire station here that was built in around the, I think it was in the late 60s, early 70s. Previous to this building, it used to be stationed in Paradise Street. And Paradise Street is a street that's now long gone. Only survives now in the memory because there's nothing left of the street whatsoever. But around here, this never existed. All this road here and this large island, I think it was around about the mid-70s when all this was constructed. So there was no main thoroughfare, as you can see here now. What we used to have was the main road would be Sandwell Road over there, and Grafton Road just beyond, by all the trees here, would join up with Sandwell Road just there. But beyond Grafton Road there was Lyndon, and that used to be the main road that would take you from Sandwell Road. You'd go along Stony Lane, Lyndon, and you would join up with 10 Score Street down the bottom there. So it was in the 1920s when Grafton Road was constructed. That would then be the main road from Sandwell Road that would join 10 Score Street down there. But before Grafton Road, it would have been Lyndon, and Lyndon would have been the main road that would have taken you to 10 Score Street. It was joined up with Stony Lane before it joined Sandwell Road. Prior to this road, this was built around about the 1970s, this top end of All Saints Way here, there would be something called Beale Street. It was a road that came off Sandwell Road, but it would be a kind of a dead end around about here. Beale Street would contain terraced housing on either side, but that's also now long gone. There's no trace whatsoever of Beale Street now. And here would have been houses built that would have lined Beale Street, but it's all modern this side now. And we've got a pub just here on the left, which was opened in the 1970s, and it was called the China Clipper. But it's now closed up as a pub. It changed its name from the China Clipper to the Hargate Arms. Okay, so I thought I'd just come round here in Hargate Lane, and there's Nelson Street, and it was just about here that the China Clipper replaced a previous pub on this site, which was called the Plumber's Arms. Very old pub. I believe it was about 1820s when it was first built. I think it was in the 70s when it finally closed. And just around here somewhere there'd be Hargate Chapel. And just show you some of the original housing along Hargate Lane. These terrace properties, late Victorian. Just here, a pub, I believe there was a pub on this site. I think it was the Hargate Tavern. They closed I believe in the late 50s, early 60s. I'm not 100% on that one. As we now come along Hargate Lane, and Hargate Lane would continue just over there, across this road, All Saints Way. But of course All Saints Way didn't exist because this was really the epicentre of this area of the town, because Hargate Lane would cross over there to on the other side, which is now Grafton Road. Grafton Road would converge on the centre here also, and Gladstone Street would come here from the left and join in the centre here as well. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4 roads all meeting here in the centre, and this was the construction in the 20s of the new road called Scott Street. And Scott Street would be a bit roundabout, beginning from here and just over there in Grafton Road as it is now. Lots of industries over there, factories. And there's Gladstone Street just ahead. I did a video of Gladstone Street if you want to check that one out. When Scott Street was created, it was just that carriageway just over there. And it wasn't the 2-lane dual carriageway going down and up. When they built Scott Street, it was just one carriageway, and both sides there was just here and just over there was all tree lined. Scott Street was all tree lined, as a lot of the area around Tantony was built with lots of trees lining many of the roads in the estate. A bit of a landscaped area just over ahead of me, opposite Beaconsfield Street. These houses that were built in a crescent, and you can still see a few of the trees there in that crescent. But there's hardly any trees along here now. Beaconsfield Street, now you can see on my left, has now been sealed, so you can't come out here onto this main road. But Beaconsfield Street would have continued a little bit further on to join that carriageway over there. Early to mid 70s, when this road was being built, they'd all have these houses along here on the left, these properties. They would have quite long gardens, front gardens, that would enter this particular carriageway before it was built, and so they lost a lot of their frontages when this dual carriageway was built. I'll show you which houses would have been affected. There's the Sunwell Hospital, now sadly a shadow of it for myself now because of It's lost its accident and emergency department. It's gone to the Metropolitan Hospital in Smethwick. Yeah, there was all these houses along here. They were rather long frontages. They would come out to about the middle of this road here, this carriageway. They were quite long, but now you can see they've still got plenty of frontages anyway, look. But they were certainly a lot longer than they are now. And there's Lyndon. As I said earlier, that was the main thoroughfare to reach Tenscore Street, which is what Tenscore Street would have started around about here. And all this back in the day was all built. All this was all built in around about the early to mid 1970s. All those hospital board blocks just there, and all this site was all built on. It was just largely empty land. Lyndon was the main capital, if you like, of West Bromwich, mainly agricultural. There was lots of farmland and farms and such like round here. Just up Lyndon there was Kenrick and Jefferson envelope division. There was a laundry. There was a bakery. J.J. Grant's had a bakery just on the corner, just around here somewhere. There were two bakeries. I think one was confectionery and the other one was bread making. Now this is a bit of intriguing one. This is called Malvern Close, but there used to be an old estate on here, and it used to be Lyndon House down there, but it looks like a modern area now, doesn't it? But there used to be an old house down there called Lyndon House. It's now a care home, and this is the lodge that I presume belonged to that house. Can't seem to find much information about that estate, and you can see ahead of me now where there's now big signs up saying it's all closed, the accident and emergency department. Right, just here there's Little Lane just there, and just over there there's the Wilford Lane just there as well, or is it Wilford Road? But anyway, there used to be a bookmaker's there on the corner. And this is the G. Gibbs Funeral Directors. It's been here as long as I can remember. Seems an odd place, doesn't it, for a funeral directors just here. There's the office, if you're interested. All these were all old terrace properties all along this side. Yeah, you can see just up there, that's Little Lane. There was a pub up there called the Churchfield Tavern. I think it disappeared in around about 2012, something like that. It's all new houses in its place now. But this ain't very busy now, is it? This hospital. The car park over there was generally quite rammed, but I can see plenty of spaces on there these days. This is Wilford Road then. Yeah, as I said earlier, there used to be a bookmakers just here, bookies, just on the corner here. And so where we'd have the bookies just here on the corner, round about here somewhere. There used to be all terraced houses along the front here. Along the front of facing 10 Score Street. Where you can see the post box, the pillar box here, that was where the post office used to be. Just here. Who remembers the post office there? I think even you used to go to Churchfield School, which I did in the early 70s, mid 70s I should say. This was certainly open. It was certainly open then. But you can see, look, it looks like Victoria Reigns, a Victorian post box. You don't see many of those. It's not used anymore. So we got a Victorian post box, pillar box. Yeah, just to the right there is Vine Crescent. But Vine Crescent was another one of these roads that used to join 10 Score Street. We've got all these maisonette type properties now here built on the left now, where there was once a lot of terraced housing, but we've got these things placed now. Now if we over there, there used to be a factory over there in the night. I don't know what it did. 1930s, large factory. Site where we got the McDonald's now, that was once the site of the Four in Hand pub. It used to be an M&B pub. It was opened in the 1970s. It closed in August of 1995, and in the same month it was demolished to build that place, McDonald's. Still fondly remembered was the Four in Hand. Used to be frequented by West Bromwich Albion players, football players. So we've got a row of shops just over there, which we'll take a closer look at next video, where I'll take you further along All Saints Way. But it was at this point here with Parsonage Street that 10 Score Street would end, just at these traffic lights, and the next after that the road becomes All Saints Street. Lots of modern housing just there by Church Vale. I'll show you a bit more of Church Vale as well in the next video. And so what I'll do next time is we'll continue our journey along All Saints Way. Okay then folks, so that was the end of our first part of our journey along All Saints Way, where we began our journey at the fire station at the top end, and we've come down some very old roads, haven't we? Scott Street and 10 Score Street, and yeah, there's a bit of history. But I think there's a lot more going on history-wise when in the second half of the All Saints Way, which I'll show you in the next video. So keep your eye out for that one, and if you like the video, hit the like button and also hit subscribe and hit the notification bell for new videos, and I'll see you on the next one.